Hi everyone, this is Vinayak again back uh, for your social science 10 CBSE, and we shall be discussing about the first chapter of economics. The chapter's name is development, and we shall start with the slides. First of all, we can know what is development. Here, the idea of development or progress has always been with us. The idea of development or progress has always been with us. We have aspirations or desires about what we would like to do and how we would like to live. Before discussing these 2 points, first, just we shall have a small idea what is development. Development is not the same for every individual. Every individual's aims, goals, ideas, and desires vary. They have their own different ways of thinking and different ways of uh, completing their task or the aims. So that's why here development is meant for different people in different ways. So now the idea of development or progress has always been with us. Means the idea always will be with us. Our thoughts will be going in that direction only. How to develop. For example, now a student, what will be their idea and what will be their thought about development? That is getting good marks in the academics, getting good result, and getting good name in the school, and all these things are a part of the development. And then once they complete the studies, the students getting a good job, and once they get a good job, they want a good house, then they want a good car or bike or whatever. So these are all whatever they fulfill their needs or they fulfill their dreams, that can be called as development. So here the second point says in that manner only. What is that? We have aspirations or desires about what we do, would like to do, and how we would like to live. So how we would like to live and what we would like to do. These two are the main things what is required for a individual. See, there is a very big difference between desire and aspirations. What do you mean by desire? Generally, desire is like a dream. It may be not, it may not become true also. Now, every student may think, I want to become a very big businessman, or I want to become an IAS officer, or I want to become a great personality. But whether everyone will succeed this? Now the parent thinks, yes, my children should become an IAS or IPS, and really the child can become as per their parents desires? No, everyone cannot become. Here there is no criticism, but for fulfilling that desire or dream, there is lot of hard work needed behind it. So that hard work has to be completed by the student, mainly by the student with the support of the parents and the teachers. So what is aspiration? Aspiration is once you aspire something till you succeed in coming to that level, That is called aspiration. So which is possible, and desires, some of the desires may be impossible also. So what are the possibilities? There you can say aspire. So aspirations and desires are having much difference. But they look similar. They are similar. But every student has to have aspiration more than the desires. That will lead to their success. Now, development for different people, as we were discussing, every individual has different goals, different aims. So, their development, what they feel, is different for different people. For example, few categories are given in your textbook as examples. So, we shall go through it. Landless rural laborers, more days of work and better wages. So what a laborer thinks, that he should get work almost every day, and he should get better wages, and he should be paid well, so that he can take care of himself and his family. So that's why that will be his development. He may feel that he is developed there. Local school is able to provide education for their children. And landless rural laborers, these people think that local schools are able, should be able to provide education for their children. They want better education for their children with less amount of fees what he can pay or what he can afford here. That's why he sends those his children to the local school, and he expects more good education in that school. Then next is prosperous farmers, assured high family income through higher support prices for their crops. Assured of high family income means, here those prosperous farmers means they are the landowners, and they want an assured high family income through higher support price. That is, every year when the harvest is done, the prices of those food grains must go up in the market, and they should get good support price for their crops, so that they feel that they have developed. Like how they feel that they have developed, they will compare from the previous years they compare. And then next, a girl from a rich urban family, what does she dream about, or what is her aspirations, or what are her desires, and how she feels that she is developed. She wants as much freedom as her brother, and is able to decide what she wants to do in life. See, this is pertaining to only our country, India. Why? Because we have a lot of traditions and cultures in our country where girls were not given much freedom in the past. And now, no doubt, now in this modern generation, we have a lot of changes, and girls are being given freedom, much freedom. And why here we says a girl wants freedom more than her brother? Because almost in our family systems, patriarchal type families, where father is the head of the family, and male dominated families. So where what they do, what is the thought of the people in India? Okay, if they spend lot of investment or money for making the daughters to study, and then anyway the daughter has to get married and she will go to her husband's house. So instead of that, they invest more for the sons, because son has to take care of the parents. So this is the uh, what do we say, thought of most of the parents in our country. That's why these girls are not sent outside much. They are given basic education, and then if the girl wants to study more or do jobs or something else, the parents hesitate to fulfill these dreams of the girl child. So all these are examples for development. So the girl thinks that if she gets more freedom, she feels that she has developed herself. So different persons can have different developmental goals. What may be development for one may not be development for the other. It may be even be destructive. Here, as we discussed right from starting, what we are saying, every individual can have different developmental goals. So how they are different, what may be the development for one may not be for the other, because everyone's desires are different, everyone's goals are different, they may aim completely different to each other, so that's why they have different ideas. So that's how some of the developmental goals may be destructive also. Here, a question arises. Do all of these persons have the same notion of development or progress? Obviously, the answer is no, because everyone has different ideas. So we got to know that different peoples can have different development goals, and maybe the development for other can be destructive for someone else. For some it is good, for some it is bad, so they have different goals. Income and other goals. Besides seeking more income, people also seek things like equal treatment, freedom, security, and respect of others. Here, not only about earning money or more income generation, but people also seek things like equal treatment. Where you see equal treatment, just now we saw an example about a girl child. So they want, the girl says, I want equal treatment in the home along with the boys, that is her brothers. The same way caste system is prevailing in our country. There also everyone wants to have the equal treatment. And then in standard of living, poor people, rich people, middle class people, they also want equal treatment. Then everyone needs freedom, security, and respect of others. So everyone must be respecting each other. So they resent discrimination. I told you, it is recension of discrimination. Means when equal treatment comes, there won't be any discrimination. When the differences come among the people like rich, poor, gender issues, caste issues, all these things, if they are, then they start discriminating for these cases. In some cases there may be more important than income, because material goods are not all that you need to live. Not only material goods but everything like respect, what we were discussing, respect of others, how to get, if you want to get respect you need to be good to the society. So all these things come under development only with income and other goals. Money or material factors we can buy with it. Money, with money or material factors we can buy with it, is one factor on which our life depends. Our life depends on the money and material factors. But the equality of our life also depends on non-material things. You cannot buy the equality. It has to come from the society. There are many things that are not easily measured, but they mean a lot to our lives. There are many things that are not easily measured, but they mean a lot to our lives. A very big example I will give you. Many things are there, they cannot be measured, but they mean a lot to our lives. They are, for example, friendship, family relationship. These two are very big things and they cannot be measured. How much friendship you have, you cannot measure with your friend. You cannot compare with others. But they mean a lot to our lives. And our relationship in the family, like your love to your mother or father or brother or sister, all this also cannot be measured, but they mean a lot to our lives. And example, here one more example, money or material factors. When we compare, if you get a good job in a far off place, what do? You choose the job or family. If you want to have a good goal or aim, you think about your career, so you go to a job for a far off place, leaving your family or leaving your parents, but later, but the affection will be there. But here there are, these is the factors. Similarly, for development, people look at the mix of goals. If women are engaged in paid work, their dignity in the household and society increases. Yes, if women are engaged in paid work means all the women who are doing jobs outside their homes, that is like any profession like doctors, teachers, or in any office or anything. When women go out to work and they are paid salaries, then their dignity here, dignity means respect in the household, in the house and the society increases. Ah, yes, she takes care of her family and then she is going for work and she earns so much. Like that, people speak. So, in this way, their respect increases. There would be more sharing of housework and a greater acceptance of women working outside. Sharing of housework means generally sharing will be done by the husbands or children and everyone in the family. They share the work, housework, and they accept greater acceptance of women working outside. A safe and secure environment may allow more women to take up a variety of jobs or run a business. A safe and good environment may allow more women, for example, variety of jobs or run a business. If they want to run a business, if their family is engaged into any business, or the women, if they are bold enough to start a business, they start a business and they can have better career. How to compare different countries or states? Now we shall talk about different countries also. The criterion we may use to compare depends on the purpose of comparison. We use different criteria to choose a sport team, a music team, a debate team, or a team to organize a picnic. Usually we take one or more important characteristics of person and compare them based on these. See, generally how they select, how they choose, they will have some criteria. For example, a sports team, if they want to choose a good, prepare a good sports team, what they do, they will check the players, how they are playing, what are the advantages in that particular player. All these things they check and then they choose out of many and form a team. A music team, the same way, how they are playing the music, how much worth they are in their subject. All this debate team also, whether like how they prepare a criteria for a debate team, the matter, the subject, the presentation, the body language, all these things come under one in the criteria, and as per these criteria they select. So for a music also, pitch of the voice, vocal sound, soundness in the subject, all these things are chosen, and then they are planning to they plan to select the team. So team to organize a picnic. Suppose those group, the team who has, how they select the members who know about the spot where the picnic has to be happened. There, whether the particular person is having idea about those areas, and then they can organize, they have some skills like leadership skills, organizational skills, whether they are worth for it or not. In that way they choose a team. Then next is, usually we take one or more important characteristics of a person and compare them based on this. So all these characteristics are chosen by making the way of a criteria, and then they are selected. For comparing countries, their income is considered to be one of the most important attributes. Greater income is considered to be one important goal. Whatever people like and should have, they will be able to get with greater income. For example, now when we talk about somebody else's development, how first and foremost thing, how we are saying that he has developed a lot. How? Because previously he used to stay in a rented house. Now he has a own house. He has constructed a building, or he purchased a car. Previously he was to go on a bicycle. So all these changes, all his income earnings which he is showing to the society, then people say he has developed a lot. Like that, it is considered to be one of the most important attributes, that is income. How much they have earned, what is he earning, what is his salary, what is his profit, how they are earning, and with that money whatever they are investing and they are showing to the society, then we say yes, this person has developed a lot. Comparison of different countries or states. Comparison of countries are particularly based on their income. Again, wherever we go, we have to have the income part compulsory. It's the basic attribute of comparison. So it can be compared only with that money, income. Countries with higher income and more developed than those with less income. Here more income means more of things available that human needs. So whatever availability we need, that is all compulsory. That comes under the development only. For comparison between countries, total income is not such a useful measure. So total income is not an useful measure. Since countries have different populations, comparing total income will not tell us what an average person is likely to earn. They cannot assess the exact income of every individual. In World Bank report brought out by the World Bank, the criterion used is countries with per capita income of rupees 4,53,000 per annum and above in 2004 are called rich countries. They are called as rich countries. Now what is per capita income? Every individual's income is added, brought together, and then divided by the number of population, total population. Then you get one average income. That so every year what the income is earned, that is called per capita income. And this is according to per capita income. Rich countries are having per capita income of 4,53,000 rupees per annum per year. Those with per capita income of rupees 37,000 or less are called low income countries. India comes under low income countries because its per capita income is in 2004 was just 28,000 per annum. The rich countries are generally called developed countries. The rich countries are generally called as developed countries. Whereas now India is called as not a poor country, but India is a developing country because there were a lot of changes in our standards in our country. So that's why we are rapidly developing. We are rapidly developing. So how to find an income of a country? Here's the answer to find the income. We take the average income as I told you, which is the total income of the country and it is divided by the population. Total country's population. The average income is called also called as per capita income. So few examples. Let us take, there are, see on the table, there are two countries examples A and B. Population of these countries is 5. So it is taken as average there. Income and other criteria. To find developed states, besides income, other criteria also kept in mind. Let us take the example of three states, Punjab, Kerala and Bihar. Take a look at the table. Punjab's per capita income is 26,000. Kerala 22,800. Bihar 5,700. So Bihar is a poor state compared to other states. State IMR per thousand. Literacy rate in percentage. Net attendance ratio from classes 1 to 5 during 1995-96. IMR means infant mortality rate. After studying the table, we can conclude that Kerala is a developed state among these three and Bihar is the least developed amongst them. Those three categories are in the slide. So how it is compared you can see, and even you can find it in your textbooks also, the same thing. Public activities. Money in your pocket cannot buy all the goods and services that you may need to live well. Example, a pollution free environment, unadulterated medicines, protection from infectious diseases. So all these three we cannot buy paying money or giving money because these resources should be available as required, but we cannot find it. Kerala has low infant mortality rate because it has adequate provision of basic health and educational facilities. Because Kerala has low infant mortality rate. What does mean by infant mortality rate? IMR. IMR is nothing but number of children dying out of 1,000 children. That rate is taken up and it is called as infant mortality rate. So Kerala is having very low IMR. We saw 11. How? Because they have good medical facilities by which pregnant women they go They take care of their health, they take all the suggestions, medicines and all the things, and they are um, good. And highest literacy rate, Kerala in our country, Kerala state is the having highest literacy rate. So it is also above 90%. So because they have very good educational facilities. Similarly, in some states, the public distribution system, PDS systems, functions well. What is PDS? You studied even in ninth, Food Security of India, you will be. And then PDS, that is our ration shops and civil supplies department, all these come under PDS systems. So this should be proper. Health and nutritional status of people in such states are likely to be better if everything is going on well. So definitely those states will be better. One way to find out if adults are undernourished is to calculate what is called body mass index, BMI. How the adults are found out undernourished because they don't get all the proper minerals and salts required in their food for the body to get good immunity. For that it is difficult. So for finding out, to calculate it, we call it as BMI, body mass index. Take the weight in kg, then take the height in meters, divide the weight by the square of the height. Divide the weight of the square of the height. If this figure is less than 18.5, then the person would be considered undernourished. If the BMI is more than 25, then a person is overweight. This criterion is not applicable for growing children. It is applicable only for the adults. Next is HDI, Human Development Index. HDI published by UNDP, United Nations Development Program, compares countries based on educational levels of the people, their health status and per capita income. It would be interesting to look at certain relevant data regarding India and its neighbors from HDI report, Human Development Report in 2006. See almost our neighboring countries: Sri Lanka, India, Myanmar, Pakistan, Nepal, Bangladesh. So what is the life PCI used? Life expectancy at birth, literacy rates, then gross enrollment ratios, then even the World Bank rank also. World HDI rank. A small country in our neighborhood, Sri Lanka is much ahead of India in every respect. Nepal has half the per capita income of India. Yet it is not far behind India in life expectancy and literacy levels. Since the second half of the 20th century, a number of scientists have been warning that present type of levels of development are not sustainable. What do you mean by sustainable or sustainability? What do you mean? Protecting our environment for the next coming generations is called sustainability. So whatever we are having, we should try to use those resources how much we require. People should not be greedy for it. For example, if there is a mango tree in your home, you should pluck only 10 mangoes or 15 mangoes, whatever your family can consume the same day. So a tree is full of mangoes, we shall pluck and keep it for coming days. That is called a greed, a kind of greed. Why? Because if they cannot consume the same day all the mangoes, and if they are stored, they get perished, they get spoiled. So instead of that, if it is in on the tree itself, they would have grown much bigger and more tastier. But people, because of the greed, what they do? They spoil the resources. Renewable resources like groundwater are replenished by nature. Renewable resources like groundwater. In the groundwater, sometimes water may not be available. Then it gets dried up. Then suddenly again, when during the rainfall, when rain is there at that time, it will again it will form. Water is collected, and then in the crust, earth's crust, and again groundwater is present. However, even these resources may be overused, so people should not continuously overuse it. We should save them for the future. Non-renewable resources cannot be replenished as they have a fixed stock on earth. They are not renewable, some of the things, non-renewable resources. And to form, for example, minerals, mining is done. Actually, to form that minerals, it takes millions of years. And now, if okay, minerals are available, they go on dig and dig, and finally, the mineral exhausts in the earth's crust, and then future we won't have that particular mineral. So that's why we need lot of sustainability. We do discover new resources, but over time even this will get exhausted because continuous usage.